This is a story of Dave and Sharon finally living their dreams of sailing to the Caribbean and beyond. Join us while we share our adventures from getting the boat ready and embarking on our cruising life. We're leaving Cape Canaveral. We only stopped here for a few days to get provisions. Okay, we left Cape Canaveral.
Finally. Heading north. And of course we have rough seas and you can't really tell at this angle, but they are 2 to 3 feet. This is, we had to sail into them most of the day still.
And we got to enjoy a beautiful sunset in rough seas. And even more rough seas as we head into St. Augustine for an overnight stay. This is our greeting coming into St. Augustine. Rough. Very rough. Leaving St. Augustine, looks like a little bit of rain clouds are coming, but we're leaving because we want to catch the wind. I'm heading north to Charleston, South Carolina. Of course, we continue on with our overheating motor. We had some dolphin entertainment along the way. As we continued north, we sailed around container ships anchored at the Charleston Bump. As we're sailing through the Charleston Bump, we encounter a waterspout. We make sure we stay well away from it. The Charleston Bump is a deep-water, rocky ocean bottom. It lies in the path of the Gulf Stream and deflects the Gulf Stream offshore away from the coast of the eastern United States. We are leaving Charleston Anchorage. I think we're the last ones here. Actually, there were only a few people here. 2 boats, 3 boats the most. After a few days' stay at Charleston working on the motor, we left and continued sailing north towards Cape Lookout, North Carolina. Okay, well, We left Charleston for another overnight trip to get to Cape Lookout, and we were
Abba dabba dooba. Gonna try that again.
okay. We left Charleston to head to Cape Lookout, and we're
following our charts from previous trip.
Try it again.
You want me to start it?
Yes,
Okay.
we're supposed to originally.
All right, so we left Charleston and we're headed for Cape Lookout. I always get that backwards and say Outlook. Anyway, we were following our charts from previous trip and didn't realize that they had moved a marker buoy, and it was supposed to be lighted marker buoy, and it was a red marker buoy, and we didn't see it, so I was kind of assuming maybe it was not lit for the night. Anyway, we were cruising in and we ran aground on sand, and the tide was starting to go down and I couldn't get off
the sand.
Off the sand. So we ended up calling the Coast Guard. We went through everything. We called the Coast Guard
to get towed out.
And we're starting. I would have left it there for the night because I think in the morning we hit it. The tide was low enough when we hit it that when the tide came up we could have gotten out. But it was kind of heading. There was waves coming in from the ocean, and we were starting to lean over that way, so it would have swamped the boat. So we called our
we just called the tow service,
and they came out with 2 boats, and they took several hours to get us off the sandbar. They had to use their motors to dig holes under our keel and pull us off. And when we went around, they actually pulled us around into the anchorage, and they told us that we were like the third boat
that week.
They
got stuck in the same spot.
And the problem is they moved the buoy
like 2 weeks before,
and it wasn't updated on the chart, but they moved it like a half or almost a mile down the coast, and therefore it was really confusing. We couldn't see what was happening there.
It wasn't a mile, but it was pretty far.
Well, it was pretty far, and it didn't need to be that far, but it made it far enough so that it blended in with some of the other lights.
We ended up anchoring.
I anchored, and then I immediately dove on the boat to check out that there was no damage, and there wasn't any, and even the paint really wasn't pushed off from it.
Yeah.
And so then we went to sleep for a short while because there was only a short weather window to get up and around Cape Hatteras.
So we really only got a nap and had to do another overnighter. Maybe slept 2 hours and left and went around Hatteras without a problem, and then somewhere around Virginia Beach it was my turn to do the
nighttime, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nighttime.
Yeah, nighttime.
So it was my turn. Dave was sleeping. He was in a sound sleep with the air conditioner on, and I closed up the curtains. I could see a cell through the radar, like a storm cell. I said, oh, it's coming. I was watching it, and it kept going the other way, and then I said, oh, it's really changed directions. So I woke him up with not much time to spare.
Yeah, so I could see that it was a pretty intense storm cell, and there was we weren't going to get out of it. We couldn't reverse, we couldn't go back on our course. We were going to get hit. So I pulled the sails in. I think we were motor sailing or sailing at the time, and I pulled the sails in.
No, I don't.
Yeah, we did, because
Okay.
I pulled the sails in and we started motoring, and it was a good thing because we got socked by winds that were 35 to 45 knots, and I was literally heading. I literally had to turn the bow into the wind, and I was heading west, absolute west, and the boat was moving north right along our course. It never changed off the course. So I don't know if it was the we were in the
A current.
current, or that's just the way it worked out. But I was motoring west, not moving 1 inch west, just going completely north, staying right on our course line.
It was just a squall of some sort.
Yeah, and it didn't last that long, but it was hairy while it was happening, but it didn't last too long. But those are things you're going to run out in the ocean.
The adventures of
You know?
sailing. We arrived at Hampton, Virginia, the Norfolk area, and anchored near Fort Monroe.
There's our dinghy on this nice dinghy dock. Gotta come under here to get to it, and we're anchored over there somewhere. Right there. There's the main mast hanging up with the red sail cover. You can see that. And this is Fort Monroe, which is a historical site over there. Right, so we're gonna take about a 2-mile hike to go get parts from O'Reilly's, and then there's a Food Lion over there, grocery store. We'll get some water and take an Uber back. But we're gonna do a tour through the town. There's our park, our dinghy park right here by this bridge. St. Mary's Star of the Sea School, and this is a really nice little part of town here. Fort Monroe entrance. Sharon. And right out, where are you? Right out there is SV Huntress. And our neighbor. We dinghied all the way over in there under the bridge. Actually, it's right on the end of this bridge here. And now we're gonna walk into Fort Monroe. Fort Monroe, we'll get some of the specs, was built to help protect the harbors from the British after the War of Independence. This goes down into what is now Newport News. I don't know what it was called back then, but it was a big shipyard and safe harbor. And this sits right out in where the river comes out, the mouth of the river. So they had big old cannons that would reach out to the ships. And this whole piece of land here is a peninsula that goes out. So this is one of the roads into Fort Monroe. I'll go up there. And the whole original fort is surrounded by moat. We'll also get some brochures when we can of the fort. There's another bridge down there. There's a cemetery here. What? Pet cemetery? Yeah, I guess so. There, you want to see what they shoot at? That's the channel coming in, so they could stop ships all the way over. Back in there is Newport News in the shipyards. And over here is the Chesapeake Bay. The moat again, and you can see why this was angled everywhere, because now they could be right here and shoot out that way and keep people off the walls. Observation tower that was probably, obviously it was not original. Came down to check out what this is. Looks like something was on these pedestals. And then if we come over here, storage, probably for ammunition. Down here, same thing. In there, lots of places for ammunition and probably billeting for the cannoneers. There's the road, the bridge we came in on to the main gate. We walked all the way around. Walking tour 2. So we're walking down here now. All of this is underneath those ramparts. So here we are at Fuller's. This is in Phoebus, that little town we walked through. And we're at Fuller's Oyster Bar. And we won't do too much in here because people get a little nervous. But there you go, Fuller's at Oyster Bar. Every time we walk by, it's been crowded. And we'll see, it looks pretty good. They're friendly. Nice atmosphere, and raw oysters if you want them. We got the fried oysters. They had blue crab pierogies as a special, but they were out of them. So,
Didn't
fried
get to try
oysters.
'em. We want to say thank you to all of our viewers who have subscribed and commented. We appreciate your support and feedback. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps us build our channel up so we can keep bringing you more videos.